Hi everyone. So today is Monday, what is it, June 24th. So I believe this is the 24th day of SAS, depending on if your store still has a section out, because I do know that one store that I went to, they just packed everything up and I don't even think they have a little 75% off section. So this is going to be a collective haul again, just because I had 3 buy online, pick up in store orders to grab. I needed to go do some returns. I kind of spread them out to different stores just so I wouldn't be returning like 3 things at once. And then I believe that I did one in-store shopping trip. So technically there should only be like 3 bags, but I like to make sure all my items are separate and everything. Okay, enough with the rambling. So I did have some returns to do. I'm going to insert that clip here just so that if you want to see my reasoning behind my returns, you can go ahead and check that out. When I'm filming this, it's Friday, June 21st, the 21st day of SAS. Ooh, it's winding down. So I looked through all of my purchases. There's kind of more over there, if you can see. So I want to go over and kind of just talk about and explain the items that I plan to do a price adjustment, return, exchange, which it's actually going to be just returns and then another situation, but I'll talk about that in a little bit, which is always good to check your receipt. But okay. So with this one, it's actually 2 separate returns, even though I put them in one bag. So I am returning Thailand sweet kiwi and starfruit just because I already did a BOPUS order for this when it was $3.95, and plus there was the flash 25% off coupon online, which was applicable. So I don't necessarily need 2. And yeah, so that's getting returned. The other thing I am returning that I did not notice when I was checking out is that after I reviewed my receipts and my bags, I had noticed that this, despite being in the 75% off section, strawberry melon, it rung up for the full price of $16.95, which I like this scent. I already redeemed one of my rewards when it first came out for it. Full price, who is this, me? Like, I don't even pay 50% off sometimes, let alone full price. So yeah, this is going back to the store. So I'll be getting like $16.95 for this strawberry melon, and I'll be getting like $3.95 or so for this. Okay, so that's gonna be the first return. I don't know if I'm going to do this all in one store, but just because I feel like if you plan to do a return, it's good to do it before the sale ends, just so that if someone else is interested in that item, you can go ahead and do that. But okay, this one, you might be kind of shocked, but I got this candle for $10.95, and while it's okay, I kind of don't care enough for it to pay $10.95 for it. And this is hummingbird tea cake. This reminds me a lot of just the Happy Easter candle, and like with a slight like remix to it. And I feel like while it's nice, I don't really care for the very faint or non-existent pineapple scent in here. And there's a little, I'm getting a little bit of a mushy banana smell, which I do know that banana isn't listed, but it just reminds me a little bit too much of it. So I'll be getting $10.95 back for that one. If you're asking, would you ever purchase hummingbird tea cake? Yes, but not for $10.95. I feel like those scents have to be really good. Oh, and I was reorganizing my wax collection, and I recently need to put up a haul. But okay, so there's that. So far that is 3 transactions. And then this one is actually the perfumes that I had purchased for 50% off. I wanted to secure them. However, today, Friday 21st, perfumes actually went down to 75% off. And I already did a BOPUS order, plus I used my $10 off of 40. It's actually past the 14-day window. So when I went to this store, I asked for a separate transaction for the perfumes. So this is going to be just a straight up return. And then, which is good for other people, because when I return it and if someone else spots it, then they can purchase it for 75% off. So yeah, so I'm going to be getting, here, let me show you a little bit of the receipt. So I paid $27.47 for Calypso Clementine, and $29.97 for Luminous. So I'm going to actually get them for about like $14 because of that additional coupon. So yeah, those are going to be my returns. Now, let me go over to this other bag and just tell you a quick story that was happening here. I'll just move my tripod over. Okay, so I recently did a haul for those hot pink cocos in the bag. And then I was just looking over because I had put the top layer and I was starting to kind of like go over my receipts and making sure that I had everything, which is always something that I advocate for, like know how much you're going to pay. But for some reason this time I did not. So in my receipt, I checked, I'm like, okay, hot pink cocoa number 1, $6.74, hot pink cocoa number 2, number 3, number 4, and then I'm like, oh, cool, awesome. And then it was my lavender marshmallow. Here, let me show you. So here's my receipt. You can always tell which one they're charging you for with the one that's close to the T. So that is 1 hot pink cocoa, 2 hot pink cocos, 3 hot pink cocos, 4 hot pink cocos. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And then it goes lavender marshmallow. And then what is this? This is another hot pink cocoa. And I was like, oh no, because in my bag there's clearly 4. So then I like, because I obviously don't want to say I didn't receive something when I did. So I checked all of my bags here and no, there was no 5th hot pink cocoa. So I thought, oh dear, because I had made this purchase Sunday, what is it, June 16th, and I'm like, it's practically a week later. And then I was getting like a little bit stressed out. So I was like, you know what, let me just shoot my shot. I'm going to call. It's not like I'm trying to like be shady about it. So how the phone conversation went is that I called, I talked to an associate, and then I told her, I'm like, hey, I don't know if I originally got 4 or I had 4 in my bag or if I had 5. So I don't know if just one was rung up twice or if it wasn't put in my bag, but I just wanted to call to see what my options were. I think I got transferred to the manager, and in this particular store, they are like packing stuff up on the 23rd. They're not even going to have a little table. So she's like, okay, so let me check to see if there's another one so we can like replace it, or if not, you could just get a refund. So, okay. And then she checked. Unfortunately, all the hot pink cocoa sold out. So she said, oh, you can try to find a candle for the same price. So I don't know, because some stores apply the policy differently. And I think this store applied it as like the price that the candle is ringing for, ringing for. So I asked her, I'm like, does it have to be a 75% off candle? And I think she was leaning towards yes. And then, so long story short, I need to go in today to get a refund for the candle and also browse. So yeah, that is my quick story of like the items that I will be returning over there, those bags, as well as I need to go get a refund for the candle I was charged for but didn't have in my bag. Rookie mistake. So yeah, I'm going to go back over to the haul, but thanks for listening to this little segment. All right, so those were all the returns that I ended up actually doing. Thankfully, that store was really nice. And even though they were packing everything up, that was the one store that's like, hey, the earlier or the sooner you can come, the better. I ended up purchasing some stuff in store because luckily they did have some items. So let me go over to that bag first, which is that one right there. Oddly enough, this store did have some one-off 75% off items that I was surprised, but it wasn't ringing. For example, like the marble cutout gold pedestal that I got last or 2 SASs ago, it was ringing only for 55 or 50% off, and I just didn't want to, after they already gave me a credit for that hot pink cocoa that either wasn't put in my bag or it was just double charged. So I'm just like, no, whatever, just take everything out that is not ringing for 75% off. So she removed that one, and she also removed a refill of the strawberry pound cake foaming hand soap. Oh, let me put up all the cancellations that I got for these 3 shopping trips. So it was a lot of Wallflowers that were canceled. And I woke up at 3 a.m. to place that pickup order. I guess I was like half asleep and I didn't notice that I ended up adding one that was full price. It got thankfully canceled though, so I'm glad about that. And now pop-up coupons are occasionally, I guess, showing up. So for almost all of my buy online, pick up in store orders, I either used my $10 off 40 online code or I had a 15% off coupon. Okay, so this was my in-store purchase that I did. Let's see, my total discount came out to $49.34. Subtotal came out to $16.46 with California tax of $1.56. My total came out to $18.02. All right, so these were the items that my sister found because there was a box hidden away Okay, so the first one we have is Leather and Brandy. I didn't know or realize when I saw this, but this was the more expensive soap. So if you ever see more like intricate packaging, the soap will retail $8.95. So when it rang up, I was like, oh, why is it ringing up for so much? It was because the retail price isn't $7.95, it's $8.95. So this soap came out to $2.24, which is fine because I know my dad tends to like some masculine scents. I know we've had like 2 visitors that they don't like cologne smelling soaps, but my dad likes them. So I'm like, oh, whatever. I mean, it's going to be in his bathroom. And then the fragrance notes to that list warm leather, amber woods, and aged brandy. Super cool. And I like the ribbed packaging of this White Barn soap. So that was the first purchase. And then the second purchase, for some reason, this store still had a lot of single wicks, I guess. Well, most of the popular ones were already sold out. And then my sister and I were like, hey, these are still here. Let's go get some because I only purchased one previously. And that is the very oddly shaped watermelon lemonade. So I asked my sister, hey, do you want one? And she's like, oh yeah, for sure. And then I had one, so I'm like, oh, let me get a backup of it. So spoiler, I ended up getting 2. So one for me and one for my sister. So these are the oddly shaped single wicks that they were testing out, 8 ounces, 227 grams. So even though this is kind of curved, I figure if I put it in a single wick holder, it should be good, just so that I don't have that fear that, I don't know, living in California, you've always, at least for me, I've always grown up hearing that, oh, there's like a big earthquake coming up. And we do have like very small, like shakes every now and again. So I am always paranoid when I have a candle that's like slightly unsturdy. And I like it that they have the fragrance notes listed in the front, which I didn't know the first time. So we have watermelon ice, sparkling water, and Meyer lemon. Here's how it looks like. Just a single wick. And then I believe that the price tag for this is slightly different. So retail price is $16.95. And then here is how it looks like at the bottom. So super cool. So both of these, since they were $16.95, they ended up coming out to $4.24. So since this was an in-store purchase, I was out of paper coupons, so I didn't have an additional coupon to use. But all right, this bag's empty. All right, so shout out to my sister for spotting these candles. When I had called and went into the store, they said, oh, we don't have any more of the hot pink cocoa. So they would have either given me the hot pink cocoa or just the refund or the credit, which I ended up opting for. But I did see that they did have some, well, my sister saw that they had some 75% off candles. I'm like, wow, so late in the game. And they're closing up shop basically the next day. So she saw caramel drizzle. So here we go. Very cool. It looks like carnival. This one, the retail price is $24.95. Fragrance notes list sugarcane crystals, melted butter, whisked sweet cream with natural essential oils. So yeah, very pretty wax color. Here it is. It's got 3 wicks. And I can smell it already. It just reminds me of like that candy where it's like it gets stuck in your teeth. I don't know if it's like a caramel swirl or square or something. So if I go based on my receipt, this one was on sale 75% off, so it came out to $6.24. So awesome. I was really happy, but the one I was super ecstatic that my sister found was this Candy Emporium. So I do have one of these, I just don't have a backup of it. Again, I believe since these were Candle Day candles, don't quote me, but they had the lower price point of $24.95. Fragrance notes list fruity candy, sweet confections, pillowy mints. So this one, it looks a little weird, honestly, when I take it off. It looked like it's been through stuff, and you see there's like little shavings and stuff. I don't think it's been warmed or anything, but I definitely think it's been like shipped back and forth somewhere. So there's that. My sister, she told me that she liked it, so I have a feeling since 1, she found it, and 2, she doesn't have the scent, she has first dibs to that. So that might end up being a candle that she picks up. All right, let me go over to this bag right here. I believe this was a buy online, pick up in store order that I had, but like I'm getting very confused as to what store it is. Oh, okay. This was at a different location. Where was it? Okay, this was at a different location. I did have some Wallflowers that were canceled, but let's go on to the ones that weren't. Iced lemon pound cake. I really love this one. This one's classified as treats and sweets. So this one is sugary glazed icing, pure lemon zest, fluffy pound cake, whipped cream. So I didn't know if iced lemon pound cake was going to come back, so that's why I wanted to get quite a few of these. That citrus lemony note, it disappears quite quickly, so I'm like, ooh, I really love a candle, so I feel like I'll like it more in home fragrance than I did in body care. Even though I do like the body care, but I feel like I need to add it with or mix it with another citrus, or like kind of top myself off every hour or so. So there's one iced lemon pound cake. All right, next one we have Paris Cafe. I saw a lot of people hauling this, like Eric for Eric and Company 2. I believe Lizzie from Hazel 83, she was hauling it as well. Just a lot of people were hauling this scent, and I'm just like, has Paris Cafe come out in a Wallflower or not? And I was unsure, so I'm like, let me just get some of these before it doesn't come back in this type of format. For this one, fragrance notes list rich roasted coffee, sugared baroche vanilla cream or creme. So right there. And these, I do want to say that I had a 15% off coupon, pop-up coupon that came up. Iced lemon pound cake number 2. And then we have Paris Cafe number 2. And then I think this is the last one. Oh, Laundry Room Lemon. I heard this smells a little bit like astringent, but I still wanted to have one. And then this one, it says Tart Lemon, Fresh Air, Salted Lemongrass. So I really like lemongrass. Fresh Air, I'm not too sure about that. But Tart Lemon, I'm like, ooh, I love like lemon heads, tart candy, and stuff like that. So there is that one. And then I think I kept this. Oh, yeah. So I should have already put my cancellations up, but right here it has that they canceled Kiwi Starfruit, Wallflower Refill, Calypso Clementine Perfume, and a Tropidelic Perfume. These were the pens instead of the full-size ones. So, yep, I had some cancellations this time. Well, actually, all the time. Anyways. All right. So, in this store, I needed to pick up, I want to say, yeah, one buy online, pick up in store order, and I had a return. And in the video, I would have gone over it that I purchased the Luminous and the Calypso Clementine Perfume full price. And no, not full price. Ooh, what am I talking about? I got it for 50% off. So at 50% off, the perfumes ring up for $27.48 and $29.38. So basically, I got back $62.90 back to my MasterCard. The associate who was doing my return, he's like, oh, but these are really good perfumes. I'm like, oh yeah, I just didn't know if they were going to drop. And I was able to secure some, which, by the way, I have a buy online, pick up in store order. He's like, oh, okay, now I get you. So this store still oddly had Luminous perfumes, but they had run out of Tropidelic and Calypso Clementine. So for this buy online, pick up in store order, I ended up getting a Calypso Clementine, 75% off. Super happy because I like it. I just wish that the woody note that I feel like comes out more in the dry down kind of wasn't there, but it is very bright and citrusy, borderline like kind of orange like. All right, and here we have a 75% off perfume for Luminous. The box is very beautiful. So yeah, I think the store just had a bunch of Luminous perfumes because at one point they had a whole 75% off display of them. So there we go. Instead of paying $62 for these two perfumes, I ended up paying like $12 each, just because I had a 15% off pop-up coupon. During this purchase, I had some other Wallflowers. Again, a lot were canceled, but that's okay. So let's go on to Wallflower number 1. We have another Paris Cafe, just because, I don't know, I guess I have a feeling that I really enjoyed the candle, and I don't know if the Wallflower will come back. Ooh, we have a Strawberry Daiquiri. These were one of the more tropical Wallflower fragrances that weren't canceled. So this one's fruity and bright. So for example, like I tried getting sweet kiwi and starfruit or something like that, and that thing was canceled each and every time. So the fragrance notes to this list: frozen strawberry, sweet simple syrup, shot of tropical rum, and zesty citrus twist. Smells very nice. I believe this had already come out maybe 2 or 3 years ago. I don't know if it comes back every year, but I think I have an older version of this one. So there is that one. And then final two, we have, oh my gosh, Paris Cafe and Paris Cafe. Wow, I need to chill out with the Paris Cafe because I thought I only had 3 total, but this is seeming like borderline 6 at this point, but you know, whatevs. I'm okay with it. I'm going to use it up. Final one. I had another pickup order to do. This was a store that had a lot of 75% off 3-wick candles a week and a half ago or something. They were all wiped out, but anyways, I had some more wallflowers. Again, I had quite a few cancellations. All right, so I think these are all going to be in the same fragrance because I did order another strawberry daiquiri. That one wasn't canceled, but of course now since I completely missed out that a 3-wick candle wasn't in my bag, I made sure to check before I left the store, and I had noticed that instead of strawberry daiquiri, I had coconut pina colada, which normally I'm okay with, but like coconut pina colada, I don't like coconut. So I went back to the associate. I'm like, hey, I have coconut pina colada. I think it got switched for the strawberry daiquiri. And she's like, really? And then I'm like, oh yeah, here's my basically my email confirmation. There's no pina colada up in here. And she's like, oh, okay. I'm like, oh, can I just switch it for one of the wallflowers in the 75% off section? And she said, for sure. So I ended up getting almond croissant just because I feel like this scent might not come back. This one says treats and sweets, new fragrance. I really hope this is good because I haven't burned the candle yet. This one says toasted almonds, vanilla glaze, flaky croissant. So even if I don't like it too much, I can always mix it with something else so I can burn another candle perhaps, or maybe like a vanilla. I don't know. There's many possibilities. So I have almond croissant number 1, almond croissant number 2, almond croissant number 3. Is that it? Yeah. And then the last one, we have almond croissant, which should have been strawberry daiquiri, but that's all good. All right, so that is it for this specific collective haul. I don't know if I'm going to shop anymore this summer SAS, just because I don't know how long it's going to take for Bath& Body Works to drop the soaps to 75% off. But even so, when I went to pick up all these like BOPUS orders, there weren't a lot of soaps left. And it seems like even though they haven't gone down in price, that people are buying them for, what is it, $3.95, $3.25, something like that. So yeah, I'm starting to organize all of the items that I purchased this SAS, and I think I'm still gonna do my sister shops my stash and then like a wrap-up video. I don't know if people are interested in it, but yeah, that is it for the shopping trip. Overall, I think it was pretty good. My sister had a great eye, and if I'm looking at everything collectively, everything was 75% off or less, depending on if I had a coupon. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Okay, bye.